Welcome to Expanding Your Search with Brent and Jody Bailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jody welcome
pastor, women's minister, and conference host, Megan Huffman.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and Jody Bailey.
Hey everyone, it's another Friday, and we are so excited. We have got a great program for you. Such a great guest. I'm so excited. My friend Megan Huffman is going to be on the show today. She is just incredible. You'll learn that. I can't say enough wonderful things about her. But before we get to her interview, let's go ahead and welcome my husband, Brent Bailey, to the show to help me out. Hey, babe.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Let's do this. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hope everybody's having a good day today.
Yeah, it's it's a beautiful day outside.
It is.
I'm telling you, I love fall. I was talking with my mom the other day, and she said something about, the leaves falling and really loving fall.
How does she know? She lives in Palm Springs, California.
Yeah, but she knows.
I'm calling you out on this one, Mom.
She likes fall. She likes, not just like, I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, that's like saying we experience it here in Orlando, too.
I know, that's true.
Whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, happy fall, everyone. I know we've been in it, but, it continues to, we are almost at the end of, the second half of October.
Yeah.
So, babe, what is going on today?
Well, as I pull off my obnoxiously large glasses.
I love them.
Today is National White Cane Day. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not know what White Cane Day is.
White Cane Safety Day.
White Cane Safety Day. Okay.
It is a day designated for the blind.
Really?
Yes.
Well, look at that.
It celebrates the achievements of people who are blind and visually impaired. This one hits close to home now.
It really does.
It really does.
Yep.
My dad has. We're believing it's temporary.
Yes,
but
we
he
are.
is. He's in a state of visually impaired, strong, but bad.
And we're constantly praying and believing and standing for healing.
Yeah, and so this is a day. The white cane, of course, you don't know what that is. The white cane is usually the cane that most visually impaired or blind people carry, that helps them kind of feel where they are. They can feel ledges on steps and edges of walls, and when the corners come and things like that. But it's not only a tool. It is I got to look and see what this word is that it represents the independence of those who are blind around the world.
Awesome.
That's what today is to celebrate that day.
Yes.
But then also bring awareness to people as a safety issue.
Yeah.
Because my dad uses just a normal cane to kind of feel steps and things like that. It is a whole nother world when you can't see.
Yeah.
And so,
and sometimes, it's hard, and a lot of times, and I know he says to us a lot, you have no idea what it's like to be me in this position. So,
well, the white cane extends a person's senses to be out further than their sense of feel and things like that. So, yes.
Very important.
So, all right. So, also today is National Shawarma Day.
Hey!
I like shawarma.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Shawarma.
We had that a lot when we were in Israel, and it was so good.
So it's national?
National Shawarma Day is what it says.
Because there are certain places in the country you do find shawarma. I know.
Right up the street from the church,
we
had an Israeli restaurant.
Yes, we did.
It was good. It was wonderful.
It really was, and they served shawarma.
They did it with turkey, though.
Yes,
the ones that we had in Israel were like maybe lamb sometimes.
Yeah, you could have your choice of meats.
Meat. Yeah. So good, though.
Yeah, so, well, that's cool. Tell us what shawarma is.
It's kind of like a sandwich, but it's like a stuffed pita pocket.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's oddly enough, they put French fries in there. In Israel, you want chips in there.
But they put the Israeli salad in it.
Salad,
it's
yes, and the sauce,
and tomatoes,
and the meat, and then they put French fries.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was the other? There was another sandwich type thing that we had.
It starts with an F. No, I don't know.
Falafel, yes. Yeah. Both were really good.
Yeah.
All right. Today is also National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day.
Oh, my
Those
gosh,
who have who had the tragedy of things happening, stillborn,
yes.
Or loss of infant life, miscarriages, things like that.
Yes.
This is the day that those are remembered in mass, and we do, because we know people.
We know people who have, and it is so sad.
And it kind of did touch us. We didn't. We didn't get very far along, but we did do in vitro, and we had, I think 3 that we thought were taking, and then didn't. So
and they didn't. Yeah. But I always say, I mean, it was hard.
It was
to go through that, but I would not trade my children that we have now.
Absolutely not.
Our boys, which most of you have met our boys online, Preston and Peyton. I thank God for them all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Today is also National I Love Lucy Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do love Lucy.
Yeah, great show. One of the greatest characters of the TV generation.
Yes.
I Love Lucy. And so many people were really bummed that she was not like that in real life.
I know. It's so
because
sad.
Because she was so funny. But that just shows you the genius of Lucille Ball.
Yes. She was amazing.
Convince people, yeah.
Those shows, oh my gosh, they just did great. I don't remember how many years or how many seasons that show was on.
I don't either, but it is still talked about today.
It is.
I mean, she's one of the top women's
comedians.
Halloween
costumes. Yeah.
And here we are 70 years later. So.
Amazing.
All right. Also, it's National Grouch Day.
Is that Grouch from Sesame Street?
It's just Grouch. I think that's just old, grumpy people, or young, grumpy people in our case. It's amazing. We were involved in youth ministry through our entire marriage, but I wasn't doing it before we got married. Teenagers and kids are some of the grouchiest people in the world.
Yes, they are.
We're way worse than some of the adults. So. But anyway,
nice.
Today is National Grouch Day today to be to celebrate and recognize grouchiness.
We'll have to wish that.
But don't do that.
Yeah.
That's awful.
We tease our kids.
Yeah, it's true.
It is true.
Today is also National Mammography Day, and I'll let you speak to that.
Oh, I was like, what word? Okay,
mammography.
So what that means, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and what it's saying, what we talk about mammography is go get a mammogram, especially if you're up there in age. That's what they suggest. At a certain age, it's very important to go ahead and get tested. But very, very important, because if you can, they do encourage to try and feel around, and I'm not going to demonstrate it, but feel
check
around
yourself
for lumps,
yes.
And really, really encouraged to do the self-check. But then, if you feel anything, if you're questioning anything, get it checked out, because you don't want something possibly sitting there for years, and all of a sudden,
that's right. We know somebody right now who's
dealing with it,
but
yes,
she caught it early.
She did,
because she did do regular.
Yep, and she got it.
Yes.
She got that part removed, and we give glory to God for that.
Yep.
But again,
recoveries.
Yep, and I mean, we know lots of people who have had it and recovered. But really, it's all about getting it checked, and don't be afraid to go to the doctor and get it checked, and don't be afraid. I'm speaking to the women here. Don't be afraid to actually get the procedure done, because a lot of women are afraid of it because it's not the most pleasant. But it will be very beneficial
I'm
to you.
saving my jokes for something else. All right, today is
women do laugh about, the whole process of it, but yeah.
well, today's the day to think about it. Schedule that appointment.
Yes, schedule it. And I want to say this one thing too. There are a lot of hospitals, a lot of places that have free mammogram checks in this month and maybe in November. I'm not sure, but check that out. Wherever you live, check it out.
Very good. Today's National Cheese Curd Day, which is basically fried cheese.
Fried cheese,
Yeah.
yes.
The cheese curd has made somewhat of a comeback.
It has. It's on the menu.
I was at a convenience store the other day, and they had in the where the meat section is. It's not really a section. It's like a cooler, and
right.
They'll have just a few things like bologna and beef jerky and hot dogs and
right.
Maybe cheese, like Kraft cheese or something like that. But in the door right there, they had buffalo flavored cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
Not breaded or anything.
No. Just open it up and eat it just like that.
Eat a big chunk of cheese right there. So.
We could make our own. Yeah. We could do sheep cheese curds.
We could. I'd be all about it. All right, today is also National Bosses Day. So
okay.
Happy your day.
Happy
Jody.
My day. And I'd like
You're
to say
the
happy
boss
your day.
and you know it.
I try.
All right. Well, here's some cool food stuff. M&M's is coming out with their crunchy cookie candy. So the inside is now a cookie.
The inside of it.
What have we been
they
talking?
have, had the M&M's inside a cookie, but now
No. Now it's going to be
opposite.
a shell with cookie, I guess, crunchy cookie
stuff.
dough inside. See, everybody's
Mashup.
crossing over. Mashup, yeah. Twix had this mastered years ago. Why does M&M's have to do it? So.
I don't know. You got to just stay ahead of the game, I guess.
And also in celebration of the Halloween trick-or-treat season.
Yeah.
I have to say that because so many people are bothered by the term Halloween. But it is the fall harvest
whatever you want to call it.
This time of the year.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme has changed their name for the rest of the month to Krispy Scream. Have debuted new Halloween holiday collection of donuts, including a black cat, a cauldron with a green icing. It's a donut shaped like a cauldron, and a pretzel stick in it to stir the cauldron.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then pumpkins and other things like that.
Right.
All right, so that seems pretty funny.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of gross.
Oh, boy.
Heinz is changing their name for the rest of the month.
Oh, for the rest of the
from
month.
ketchup to tomato blood. Heinz ketchup has tomato blood costume kits for Halloween.
Well, I want to say, like on shows like The Walking Dead, don't they use ketchup like when they're
No,
they don't
use that corn syrup blood.
Oh, okay, but so when the walkers are eating another walker or that's corn syrup blood?
No, that usually that's like barbecue chicken or something like that. So
that's so gross anyway. But I don't know.
It is. But they've changed the name of the ketchup. Ketchup to tomato blood for the rest.
Tomato blood.
That's actually that's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. Go get yourself some tomato blood.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have. So.
Okay. Well, let's get to it. That's what wraps up what is going on in the world today. Now, let's expand your search. My guest today is Megan Huffman. She is a friend of mine. Her husband, Josh, and Brent are really, really close friends. We actually interviewed Josh last year. But today, I get to interview my friend Megan. And Megan is the wife of Josh Huffman. For 22 years, they've been married. She is the mom to their 17-year-old son, Jaden, and their 15-year-old daughter, Ava. And together, Josh and Megan pastor New Life Church in Huntington, West Virginia. They transitioned from youth pastor to associate pastor, finally in August of 2019 to senior pastors of New Life. And I'm so excited to have her on the program to talk a little bit about her heart with their women's ministry. The church's women's ministry is called Madeformore Women's Ministry and focuses on what is Megan's heart: to encourage women, to give women a place for them to empower one another and to fulfill the plans and purposes that he has for their lives. Megan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to see you.
I'm so excited to see you too. So before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you were raised in church, right?
I was.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your upbringing, and maybe you can add a little story there.
Okay. Yeah, I've always been raised in church. My parents always made it a priority. So we were always in church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. We didn't miss. I'm so thankful for that, that my parents instilled that as a priority in my life and from an early age. And we actually went to a small church in Hurricane where my mom was the drummer. And I have no musical abilities, but my mom was the drummer for our church. And then her sister led praise and worship. So it was a family affair there on the worship team.
Wow.
And then we actually started attending New Life Church when I was 12. And initially, when we first started going to that church, it was so different from the church that I had been raised in, with like my mom playing the drums and my aunt leading worship. And then we go to New Life Church, which was a much larger church. And I was a little overwhelmed initially, but then grew to just absolutely love it, love everything about it. And I met my husband in the youth group where I went for the first time, and he got my name and phone number off of the first time visitor card the first time I went to youth. So I guess he calls it pastor's kid privileges. And he gave me a call. And so I actually met him at 13 in our youth group.
Wow. And the rest is history, right? The rest
Sorry, I can't hear you.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Yes.
So you all have been pastoring now for 2 years, senior pastoring. I have really enjoyed following you on Facebook and Instagram and seeing some of the posts that you have made. Both, I will say this, some of my favorites a while back were the ones where you would talk about taking your kids to school and somebody calling you sir one time. Did that happen?
That happened. You know, I am fixed up right now for you guys. Daily. So yeah, I went through a phase where, do you remember the velour tracksuits?
Yes.
Well, I kept mine way longer than I should have. And so I was wearing a velour tracksuit that was all brown. I had on a Jesus Saves trucker hat. And yeah, I looked like the UPS man.
Well, I think the thing is, you know, all of us women kind of can feel that. I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't ever take my kids to school in my pajamas. So, because that has happened a few times. So it just happens.
No shame about it.
Well, the other thing, what?
We're busy. We're busy moms. We can't always be together 24 hours a day.
Exactly. So, but the other posts that I've really enjoyed are, you are very inspirational with a lot of the posts that you do, inspiring other women. But I've seen you give encouraging words to pastors' wives, which, as a pastor's wife, you know, it's definitely a needed thing. I know that there's experiences you've gone through that have caused you to want to reach out and touch other hearts. Tell me a little bit about what's kind of inspired you to do that.
Yeah, well, Josh and I, from the start, have always said that we were going to be, you know, as transparent as we possibly could be, because, you know, I think a lot of times in ministry, you know, if you present yourself as though you always have it all together, when people do see you falter in any way, a lot of times they just can't handle it. And so we've allowed people to see just the human side of us. And with those posts, by nature, my personality really is very, very introverted. And Josh is the extrovert, but I am way more on the introverted side. So I have to really push myself out of my comfort zone. And especially when we took on this, with this role as lead pastors, I knew that I was going to have to really come out of my comfort zone and really push myself in ways that I had not done before. And so the Lord actually spoke to me a few months before my father-in-law mentioned the transition. And the Lord said to me, I'm going to give you opportunities to take you out of your comfort zone. And when I do, I want you to say yes. And that was like initially kind of a scary thing for me, because I knew, when God speaks something to you, he's going to do it. And so right then, I committed to the Lord. All right, I'm going to say yes when you give me those opportunities, because I know that when you say yes to the Lord, there's growth in that. There's change in that, and that we don't get otherwise if we stay back and hold ourselves back. So as a more introverted person, I wanted, when the Lord would give me those opportunities to push me out of my comfort zone, I thought, I don't want to hold this to myself. I want to give this to other people, because there's always a lesson in it. And so anytime that I've gone through anything that is, worth sharing, I'll post about it, because normally my posts are something that I've gone through myself and I've dealt with. So I figure if I've dealt with them and I've gone through them and God's helped me and shown me things throughout that process, then someone else needs to hear that as well. So I've just tried to be open and as honest as possible.
That's awesome. I know that you talk about the opportunities, so that kind of led to the Madeformore Women's Ministry, right? How did that really come about?
Well, the Lord spoke to me and said, really out of the blue, to be honest with you. And he said, I want you to start a women's ministry. And he said, I want you to call it Made for More. And I loved that. And my initial vision that he gave me was, I knew that in this role as a lead pastor's wife, that I would have to level up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to level up. There's just some things that you have to, you've got to grow and transition into that role. And so in that vision, I didn't see just myself leveling up, just me. I saw a community of women that were leveling up. And so I knew that I don't want to go through life without a support system and a group of women that have my back, that will pray for me, that will encourage me, that will lift me up and help me to stay focused on who I am in Christ Jesus and what I'm called to do. So that women's ministry to me was that group. I wanted that to not just be for me, but be for a community of women within our church and not just within our building, but within our cities and our towns. And so we've made, outreach a priority and connection a priority, and just, women just empowering each other. And I initially had told the ladies at one of our first meetings, which we had our first meeting before the pandemic hit. And women, listen, these women, I didn't realize how much it was needed until we launched it. And these women were just hungry for a group, hungry for a tribe. And so I had told them that, do you remember the game, Red Rover?
Yes.
Where you lock arms?
Yes.
That's what we did that night when we launched this Made for More ministry, was we locked arms. And I told them, this is what this ministry is. We're going to lock arms with each other, and we're walk out this journey together, and we're going to have each other's backs, and we're going to be there for one another, and we're going to be a tribe, and we're going to really help each other and encourage each other to be who God's called us to be as his daughters.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And I know that you have done like monthly meetings, and it's great. This next weekend is your conference, your big conference that you have coming up. I've, of course, know a whole lot about it, but I would like you to share, what is this, the first Made for More conference?
This is the very first Made for More Women's Conference. We've always had a women's conference in the past. Of course, we didn't have one last year due to the pandemic, but we wanted to launch a Made for More women's conference. So I have a team of 6 other ladies that just, man, they're awesome. They are such a blessing and a help to me. They are so creative. Each one of them brings something different to the table to really help this ministry get going and go with full force. And we got together at the beginning of the year and we planned out all of the events for the year. And then we said, we want to bring a conference back and we want to launch a Made for More women's conference. And so we are having our conference October 22nd and 23rd. It's a Friday night. The doors will open at 6 p.m. The service starts at 7. And then Saturday morning, the doors will open at 9 and the service starts at 10. We have Pastor Joey Miller from Champion Christian Center in Washington, Pennsylvania. She has a phenomenal podcast as well, the Joey Miller podcast. Her and her husband have a great church there in Washington. She just has a real heart for women and ministry, and she's full of faith, full of the word. So I'm so excited to have her in as our guest speaker. We're going to have, which we love to have fun at New Life Church. Yeah. So, and we love to do everything with food because everything's better with food. So we're going to have a delicious snack bar and beverage bar. We're going to have all new Made for More merch. We have some of the cutest shirts, bags, hats. My daughter Ava makes these beautiful word encouraging bracelets. And so she's been working on those. We'll have those for sale. So there'll be some shopping and some fun. And then we're going to go in for an awesome time of worship and service and ministry. And, you know, the Lord spoke to me and we knew we wanted to do a conference, but I said, what do we want to call it? And because the name means something, it's got to mean something. Right. And so the Lord spoke to me, fire, call it fire. Yeah. And that just like lit my spirit up because, you know, these past almost 2 years have been a time of fear and depression and isolation and anxiety. And so I felt the Holy Spirit was ready to reignite a passion on the inside of his daughters to really get back to thinking that kingdom mindset and being focused on the mission of spreading the gospel and being who God's called us to be as his daughters. And, you know, you need the fire of the Holy Spirit because the world's given you all sorts of things to try and dim that light. But we need that reigniting on the inside of us to really just come forth and burn that fire within us so that we can go out and do what God's called us to do. So that's what this conference is for. I think ladies need it. Yes. You know, it's needed. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be a great time of connecting, of fun. Saturday morning, we're going to do some giveaways, but more than anything, we are just believing God that he is going to move during these 2 days. And I believe women are going to be set free. And it's going to be a time of freedom and redemption. And just, it's going to be a powerful time in the Lord.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what you are doing and how the Lord is using you mightily to really touch women's hearts. And then, of course, they can go out and encourage others. And it's just so exciting. And I want to say, if you are interested, maybe you're in the area and you would like to attend this conference, go ahead and we're going to throw the information back up on the screen. It is, you can just go to the website, www.nlcwv.com /MFM Conference 21. It's October 22nd and 23rd. You can follow them on Facebook, NLC Made for More. And let me just tell you something. Get a hold of these principles. Get a hold of what these ministries are doing. If you can't attend, just go ahead and maybe start your own conference. I want to encourage those that are watching to just really reach out to other women. We've been talking, Megan, on the show, we've had lots of women on the show and women that are empowering their community in other different things. And so it's just timely that we had you on today. And I am, again, it's October 22nd, 23rd. That's next weekend. And
Yes.
so get a hold of the information and plan to attend. You're going to have a great time.
Great.
Megan, I'm so pleased to have you on the program. And this has been a great time. And what you have shared is just powerful. Absolutely. Thanks again. Have an amazing day. Tell Josh and the kids hi.
I will. Love you guys.
Love you too. That has been Megan Huffman. And now let's stop for directions. I so enjoyed talking with Megan today. She's someone that I look up to and consider a friend, but somebody that also inspires me and encourages me in what I read on her social media posts. She pens words that are so encouraging, taken from the Bible, but then a lesson that anybody can experience. What I have gotten from some of the things that she has posted is that we as Christians are to be a light to so many in this world. We are to be a light and an encouragement to those that are hurting, to those that are in different places in their life. We're to be a light to those that may not be of the same faith as us. They may not believe the same morals as we do, but we are to be a light to them and an encouragement to them. Jesus said in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light so shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." So I say, be a light to someone. Show people Jesus through all that you do. Whatever season of life you are in, no matter your age, whatever's going on in your life, whatever's going on in this world, allow the love of our Lord to shine forth through you so that you may also be an inspiration to a dying world. That's going to wrap it up for our program today. It's been a great week on the show. I want to thank Megan Huffman for being my guest today and sharing the information that she had about her Made for More Women's Conference. Again, that's being held next weekend. And if you want more information on that, go to www.nlcwvmlmconference21.com. Thanks also to my husband, Brent, for running the tech booth so well. Until next week, which we have great guests for you next week, we hope you enjoyed yourself as you expanded your search. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search.